If you've ever wanted to expand your available storage for work, backups, video production, etc., you may have encountered the NAS scene. Network Attached Storage is a great way to go, but it does involve getting pretty technical with networking if you want high-speed throughput. Hell, I've even had trouble getting proper 10 gig working myself, mostly due to bad luck it seems. Well, this might be the alternative for you then. DAS storage. Oh wait, that's not what it means? DAS is Desktop Attached Storage. Basically, it's a big external hard drive, but instead of just being one drive that slows down and has no redundancy, you have a full storage array. This particular one from QNAP is available with a USB Type-C 10 gigabits per second or with a dedicated QXP PCIe card for 24 gigabytes per second total transfer speed, though with only spinning drives, you won't quite reach that. On the back, you have a power switch, USB-C port, power plug, and a fan speed control for the beefy rear fans. There's a tiny power supply fan as well, but it stays quiet. The main drive fans can get loud when you crank up the speed, so monitor your temperatures and keep it low. You'll also notice 2 slot holders for PCIe slots, but these are a holdover from the NAS units with the same base tooling. This box is useful for many things: desktop backup, remote file transfers when you need to physically bring multiple terabytes at a time, or even expansion storage for your NAS. Hey, I even hooked it up and saw all 8 drives were detected automatically in Unraid as well, though the USB bottleneck there would not be ideal for most certain scenarios if you're actually adding it to your array. NAS expansion is interesting, but most of my current NAS boxes do not have 10 gigabit per second USB-C ports. Hopefully QNAP can change that at some point, but I have been looking into a big desktop archive solution that isn't on my network, and this seems perfect for that. For this purpose, QNAP provided 8 10TB Seagate Ironwolf drives, perfect for NAS or DAS use, for a total possible capacity of 80 terabytes, though for most configurations you're looking at less than that. Loading up the drives is super easy. It's a toolless configuration unless you just want to screw the drives in for whatever reason. They provide the screws as well. Pull out the drive sleds, pop off the sides, put in your drive, insert the side rails back on, and put the sleds into the unit. They even include a plastic key to lock the drives into place as well, and then if you secure it with a Kensington lock in the back, then no one's stealing your data, I guess, except online. That's still happening. Then it's time to manage your storage array, which isn't as ideal as I would have preferred. You see, unlike QNAP's network storage boxes with a plethora of software and apps available, there's not really any software provided that works with the TL-D800C. This is unfortunate, as I'd like to see at least a nice backup software solution. Instead, you get QNAP's JBOD manager software, JBOD meaning just a bunch of disks, which is the kind of storage solution this is, which mainly lets you see drive status and view logs of temperature events and so on, just to make sure everything's running smoothly. For storage, you're set to rely on your operating system storage manager. So for Windows 10, that's Windows Storage Spaces. For whatever reason, a striped RAID 0 array is grayed out for me in the UI, though you could probably force it through PowerShell. The normal options in the Storage Spaces UI provides for either a 2-way mirror for keeping 2 copies of your data, 3-way mirror for keeping 3 copies of each bit of data, or parity mode, like with other traditional configurations. Parity mode provides you with the most usable storage, but rebuilding that parity, from a power loss or whatever could take a very long time. I went for a 2-way mirror, but as it's set up through the UI, this has great read speeds but terrible write speeds. With a little PowerShell magic from my Storage Spaces enthusiast Cresty Boy here, however, you can set up thin provisioning with 2 columns. I'm still using a 2-way mirror, so 2 copies of my data is still stored, but those write speeds come back up. It'll only use 4 drives at a time for reading or writing, at least per process, as Windows can use multi-threading for file transfers and access both columns at once. There we go. Speed is much better. I would love to see if I could get RAID 0 working, however. This could be a nice little recording drive. This video is brought to you by Nerd or Die and their new terminal cyberpunk-themed stream layout. You've got alerts, you've got overlays, you've got a full layout to choose from, customizable elements, stinger transitions, and all the source files, if you wish, available to edit for yourself and change colors, change aspects, or render them out for YouTube videos. Pretty cool stuff here, and you can save 15% across the entire website by heading over to eposvox.gg/nerdordie and use coupon code EposVox at checkout. Now, some of you might be wondering why you'd waste storage capacity on parity or resiliency at all. RAID isn't a backup, but when you're storing this much data, you don't want to have any risks of losing it all by having a single drive failing or having issues or dying. Trust me, I've been there, and you always think it's going to be fine until it isn't. You want to make sure that you have the flexibility to... So if this is your active backup, or even worse, active storage, you want to make sure that you have the flexibility to have a drive failure or so. So while QNAP doesn't provide backup software, some batch scripting can get that set up yourself if you'd like, or there are tons of third-party solutions. I've just never been a huge fan of them. I really feel like for creators who don't want to deal with networking craziness or just need fast bulk storage for backups, photo storage, music mastering, video projects, or general data hoarding, this is the next best thing to a big NAS. And the speeds I did reach with the custom configurations were more than good enough for recording directly to in OBS or similar programs. With an internal SSD in your computer used as cache, you could even keep your video footage on this for video editing and mostly be fine, as long as you're not editing super high-end 4K or 6K RAW formats or something. All in all, while this is bigger than you might expect for desktop storage, I think this will be a great office backup drive. You can even just hook it up to sync data and then store it in a closet or something, and do that every couple months, every quarter, what have you. It's quiet under most conditions and can hold a lot of data. I'm still torn between desktop backup and NAS expansion for this, but I'm excited to add it to my never-ending storage collection. I somehow just keep filling everything up. If you're planning to connect storage to just one computer and have PCIe slots available, the S model will give you far more performance, though QNAP has models, or at least NAS unit models, that are slimmer and focused on SSD storage, which would give you more adequate performance for this scenario. But the C model does give you flexibility to connect to just about anything with USB, and you can get a lot of storage out of 8 drive bays these days. I just wish more of their programs worked with this as well. Product affiliate links will be in the description below as always. I'm EposVox, your stream professor. Hit the like button if you enjoyed, and subscribe for more tech education. I'll see you next time.